Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss Cbse class 9 maths chapter 1 number system. In that we have discussed about the real numbers, we have discussed about the operation on real numbers and all, and now we will get into the next concept of learning about few identities. Okay, so here we are going to learn about few identities relating to the square roots and all. Okay, before that we will learn about the few facts relating to the rational and irrational numbers. Look at the first fact: the sum or difference of a rational number and an irrational number is irrational. That means if you have a rational number and an irrational number, okay, the sum or the difference will be always an irrational number. Is it clear, children? So when you are going to add or subtract a rational number and an irrational number, the answer will always be an irrational number. The next one is that the product or the quotient of a non-zero rational number. That means we are going to multiply or divide, you can take, okay, of a non-zero rational number. Okay, a rational number which is going to be non-zero. It should not be equal to 0. In that case, the product or the quotient with an of a non-zero rational number with an irrational number. A rational number with an irrational number, that will also be an irrational number. Is it clear, children? So the first one we saw was the sum or the difference between a rational and irrational is going to be irrational. Now the second one is that the product of the quotient of a rational number with an irrational number is going to be an irrational number. The third one is that if we add, subtract, multiply or divide two irrationals, that means now we are talking about the operations between two irrational numbers. What operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Then your answer will be a rational number or an irrational number. Is it clear? So when you have the operation between two irrational numbers, it can be either of these. But when you have this between a rational number and an irrational number, the answer will always be an irrational number only. Okay, so we have all these 3 points together. See, the sum or difference of a rational number and irrational number is going to be irrational. Product or quotient of a rational with an irrational is going to be irrational. Now, when you add, subtract, multiply or divide two irrationals, then the result may be rational or irrational. So this is what we have seen. So with this, we are going to learn few identities relating to square roots. Okay, we are going to see few identities relating to square roots. Already you would have learned few algebraic identities in your lower classes, isn't it? Algebraic identities. So what are the things which you remember? The basic ones, when you take, you can say that a plus b the whole square, a minus b the whole square you would have seen, and then a square minus b square. So all these things you would have seen. Okay, here they are not under square, but when you are doing, when you are looking into this identity which we are going to discuss in this chapter, we are going to see the ones with these square roots. So what is a plus b the whole square under normal identity? It will be a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, and what will a minus b the whole square be? A square minus 2ab plus b square, and a square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. Okay, so with this thing in mind, we are going to see certain identities one by one. Okay, you have 6 identities given in the textbook. We will see everything one by one and try to understand. See the first one: a and b be positive real numbers, then root ab is equal to root of a into root of b. That means if you have root 3 into 2, you can write it as root 3 into root 2. What is 3 into 2? 6. So root 6 is what? Root 3 into root 2. Similarly, if you want to find out square root of 10, we know it is going to be what? 10 will be 5 into 2. We know that 10 will be 5 into 2. So when you want to split the square roots, it can be square root of 5 into square root of 2. Children, please be very careful with all this, because when you do the upcoming questions and all, you will have to apply all these. Not only for this lesson, it's going to be like very basic for your future applications also relating to square roots. So you will have to be very careful. Some children don't even know this. They will be like, if it is square root of 10, they will not know that we can segregate like this. Why do we need this? Where will we use this? Sometimes you may get a question like square root of 10 by square root of 5. So then what you can do is, you can divide to be square root of 5 into square root of 2 divided by square root of 5. So in this way you can cancel and make it to be square root of 2. So for that you need to know that you can bring out the product of the two numbers into the square root under individual square root. The next one, the same thing with division. Okay, so with respect to division you have, so square root of a by b. For example, you need to write it to be, you can take it to be 10 by 2. Square root of 10 by 2, you can write it as square root of 10 divided by square root of 2. Okay, so what will be 10 by 2? 5, isn't it? So we know that square root of 10 by 2 will be square root of 5. So here, we know from the previous rule that square root of 10 can be written as square root of 5 into square root of 2 divided by square root of 2. Now what is the answer getting? Square root of 5. Is it same in both ways? Yes. So it's all very simple things, but where you tend to make some mistakes also. Next one, square root of a plus b into square root of a minus square root of b is equal to a minus b. Relating to this, we know one relation which we learnt or which we even discussed right now. So that is going to be a plus b into a minus b. So just some time back I told you what it is going to be, a square minus b square. Here the same thing we have with respect to the root. So wherever you have a, you had square root of a, and b was replaced by square root of b. Then what will be a square? Root a the whole square, which is going to be a. And what will be b square? It will be b. So what will happen here? So when you have root a plus root b into root a minus root b will be equal to a minus b. Is it clear, children? Yes. So it's all very simple identities, but which you have to have in mind when you are solving the questions. Okay, next, a plus square root b. See, the previous thing which we saw, we had square root for a as well as for b. So now we have only for b and not for a. Okay, so now then it will be what? For a you have a only. Okay, for b you have square root of b. So what will be a square? It will be a square. What will be b square? It will be b only. Okay, so now compare with the formula which you know, a plus b into a minus b will be what? A square minus b square. Now what do we have? For a you have a, for b you have root b. A plus root b into a minus root b equal to, for a square you have a square, for b square you have b. Is it clear, children? So it's very simple. You need to know how you are getting this and all. Okay. So the next one is going to be square root of a plus square root of b plus into square root of c plus square root of d. Okay. So this is nothing but if you have a plus b into c plus d, how you will multiply like this, and then this and this. How will you get? Square root of ac. Okay. So without square root you have, so it will be ac plus AD plus BC plus BD. So here everything is under square root. So square root of A plus square root of B into square root of C plus square root of D. So how will you do that? Square root of A into square root of C plus square root of A into square root of D plus square root of B into square root of C plus square root of b into square root of d. So what you will get? You know that you can put it under the same square root. So root AC plus root AD plus root BC plus root BD. Is it clear, children? So have you got the answer? The same thing have you got? Yes. So it's going to be very simple. We have one more thing alone. So root A plus root B the whole square. What is it similar to? A plus B the whole square. What is A plus B the whole square? A square plus 2AB plus B square. So for A you have square root of A. For B you have square root of B. So for A square it will be A. For B square it will be B. And for 2AB, okay, for 2AB it will be 2 into root A into root B, which is nothing but 2 into root AB. So now let's substitute here. For A and B you have root A plus root B the whole square is equal to, for A square you have A, for B square you have B, for 2AB you have 2 root AB. So you have A plus 2 root AB plus B. Is it clear, children? Yes. So that's it. So we are done with the 6 identities. Okay. So be very careful with all these. You will be using that in the upcoming examples and the exercise questions also, following the examples. So all that we will be seeing in the upcoming videos. Hope you understood this, children. If you have any doubt, please get back to the video and try to understand this. Very simple to understand. And you must remember this always. Even when you go to higher classes, these things will be useful for you. Okay. So hope you understood. See you again in the next video with the upcoming problems. Thank you, children.